Oh man, late on a Friday. Look, it said Fangs Up Friday. My bad. Look, I was definitely late. Love you too, wifey. My wifey giving me the funny face like I didn't. Never mind. Happy Friday, y'all. Look, hopefully, you're prepared for this weather that's coming to Florida. So, but look, it's been like we've been weathering a storm ourselves for a few months. If you're a rattler, I'm just saying. Man, I'm about so sick of. Anyways, but look, good times, frustrating times, but at all times, it's gonna be fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
Again, what's up, family? Look, as the guy can point out there, little fangs up Friday. Um, Normally we go Thursday, but as y'all may or may not have seen, we did have the Fang Exchange come up yesterday. And look, I'm all about the brand. I'm sorry, y'all. It's FAMU for me. So I definitely don't mind. Hey, I get it. Y'all ain't gonna watch but so much. So you know what? We can move it to a Friday. And you'll those that miss it, you'll catch it later. But it's a Fangs Up Friday. What's up, little baby? Look, but yeah, so definitely late. My it's on me. Yeah, I was being a daddy, a responsible parent. So took my daughter to see her other side of the family and started talking. And look, we had a good relationship. I don't have bad relationships with people on purpose. If so, hey, you can blame them. I'm a likable person, I think. But on this Fangs Up Friday, we're gonna talk about the Alabama State game. I said Alabama A&M in the caption. Look, much like y'all, I was a bit flabbergasted with what was going on with our coach's contract. But we're also gonna talk about that too. Like, kind of, what does that look like? So, but first, before we do all that, hopefully you caught round one with St. Clair Moraine. Got to talk to Coach G a little bit. Now, tomorrow, you might see a brother doing a little bit of work. This event is completely sold out. Y'all folks showed out for the Orlando Rattlers. The scholarship brunch tomorrow, 10 to 1. So we get there a little early, but you might see a little brother there. Look, baby, I'm likable when I'm full and well rested and not stressed. I'm with you. But this event tomorrow, look, y'all sold it out. So it's gonna be some fun times. Looking forward to listening to the music and really just catching a vibe. So but be there somewhat in the working capacity, but it's gonna be some good times. Also, don't forget, if you haven't got your rings, go ahead and get them in. Make sure you get those orders in. And also, if you hadn't signed up, look, be ready. End of the month, we're gonna be all signed up. All us that hadn't signed up, we're gonna be signed up. What's up, Taverty? So if you haven't, you can use the QR code. Also gonna play a little video just to remind y'all about the kickoff luncheon that's coming in a few weeks. Might be able to sit near the good brothers from the ONG Strike Zone. So you never know. Might have to, hit old Brian up. Like, you got some extra room in the car? Just asking for a friend. Also, as mentioned yesterday, there was no show because look, Fang Exchange is on and popping, supporting our players. You already see Kelvin Dean has the Dean Dozen out there with Krispy Kreme. So go over there, support that brother. Local Krispy Kremes in Tallahassee to offer that option. So, a little something out there to kind of keep it moving, keep it pushing, make it exciting. So, yeah, man. Now, one last thing. And I'm still claiming these turkeys, even though they make me really, really, really upset. because I am a Tampa Bay Rays fan, along with being a Florida A&M University graduate. And it looks like the Rays just had a fire sale, but they are having FAMU Day, and encourage you to go out there. Again, a brother's gonna try to make that one. So if you haven't already, go over there, support. Hopefully, if I have the energy, I'll be there. Kind of like little baby. If I'm well rested, I'll be there. Otherwise, I'll send a donation to the university. To try to avoid, so we got it plugged in. Hopefully, we can avoid some of thatness. But look, Rattler Volleyball schedule's out. Get ready, be ready. Let's go support them girls. Look, SWAC regular season champs, right? I mean, Blue Jackson State won it all last year. Some good people going there. But just saying, you already see the schedules out there. I just think we might have a perfect season. Not being biased, just being honest. It's my 2 cents, and that's what it's worth. So, but before we finish jumping in that, look, we had graduated 22, yes, 22 seniors today. That's why you came to FAMU, to get that paper that says Florida A&M University. So congratulations to those students who did graduate. Also, congratulations, Co-Bomber. You know who you are. Brandon. He graduated from Florida State University Law School. So congratulations, bro. Proud of you. I might get you some Gator merch when I go to Gainesville. Unlike the rest of the line, I ain't gonna troll you that bad all day. I'm gonna actually get you something because, I mean, you gotta do something when you're at home. It's not like you got a job. I love you, Brandon. Look, I know Kari gonna let her know. That's my point, though. And look, if it wasn't such, I wouldn't have brought it up. But make sure in mentioning that, go vote. As you saw, the National Alumni Association kind of started a little something, but they pulled back. But this Fangs Up podcast. So go vote. Go vote early, vote often, vote every time you can. But make sure you register to vote. One of the things I picked up on was you might be able to get that, presidential vote by mail. So probably going to end up doing that because it's going to be busy. It's going to be November. Some of y'all getting ready for the holidays. Some of y'all getting ready for homecoming. Get your stuff together. Go vote. One of the big issues that we are facing, especially from the NAA perspective, is lack of funds that are being received by the university. So it's one of the things that we're noticing, that we ask them for money. We ask representatives to support FAMU, and we get a fraction of what was asked for. And some of that is because they don't value your vote. My personal opinion. I could be off, but that's my personal opinion. That's me. And I'm about to step off my soapbox. All right. So with the basketball team, we got an offer in. So look at that. Now, she's been offered by a few schools. So, take it with a grain of salt. Don't sit up here and be like, oh, yeah, she coming to FAMU. I don't know if she is or not, but I can tell you this much. The young lady is definitely been offered. So that's one of the things where if you want to get upset about it, you can. But if you don't, hey, just realize the young lady's playing the field. Whatever option's the best for her, that's what she's going to take. So you can't really get mad at her for doing so. So good to see that when other people want the players that you want, it's a pretty good thing. If nobody wants what you got, you might have found a diamond in the rough, and you might have just found some trash. So, and look, there is an NAA budgeting and allocating meeting Tuesday. We'll take a peep into that. Please do that. And look, nothing fails but a try. Please definitely check that out. And before we jump into that football game, we got a commitment. So Keyshawn Wicks, if you saw Scotty off script, he did a player review and evaluation. Didn't get to catch it. I told y'all, being a family dude. But congratulations. A position that you definitely needed the addition. Like you lost someone that you were kind of counting. Like we pretty much have stated that he who shall not be named might not be there. So now if he comes back, hey, even better. But you just rebuilt your backfield at a time when we don't know who the starting quarterback is. And not only do we not know who the starting quarterback is, we also are kind of like, how's the quarterback going to do? Now, again, them first 4 games, eh, eh, they matter. Matter more to some of y'all than they do to others. But it kind of is what it is. And on the flip side, awards came in. Did y'all see that? Yeah, you go. Look, if your name is Kendall Bowler, look, you just might as well just keep stacking up and racking up the awards. Look, he shall not be named is not gonna be named, because I ain't gonna say nothing bad, and then they show up. But the other one, Deco Wilson, okay, game recognized game. I'm telling y'all though, that this is why the Alabama State game is big to me. It's just why won't I say his name? Because I don't want to speculate. Y'all just like, was it Stevens was the basketball player who shall not be named on ONG? We're gonna do that with my boy, just in case. Because if he come back, hey, you ain't gonna have it on wax. Meat speaking greasy on him. But Alabama State game is going to be your second conference game. And it's the game against the 1-versus-2 if you're in the SWAC. So just say it. What's up, Kev? It's a game where honestly I think it's a little overhyped. But this is a game where if you're Alabama State, this might be, you don't have a tough schedule. Not quite as difficult as FAMU coming into this game. You do have some games though that you need to keep your eyes up on. I mean, they start the season in North Carolina Central. I think catch a hell. I'm not being a hater, you know. What will be the season record for the year? I don't have a total, but if we were coming up to this point to the Alabama State game, I think you're 3-2. I think FAMU should be 3-2 by the Alabama State game. I do think you're going to beat Alabama A&M in the conference opener. But I think those 2 games against the FBS schools are L's. I think the Miami game, much like what man Nick Dixon said, I think that's an L. I think that's a tough task. I think the Troy game is winnable. The only reason I don't say you win that is because it's in that first 4 games of the season where you haven't played any conference games that matter. So those first 4 games are all non-conference, and that's kind of like that last game before you kick off in the conference. So going into Alabama State, 3-2 is not my hope. That's my kind of like settling. My hope, I want a perfect record. I ain't gonna hold you. Look. Marvin said, I've been to Tallahassee and back to Jacksonville through the rain, but summer semester was a success. Okay, for my daughter, but back in a week for the start of band. Congratulations. Look, I'm happy for her. Look, some of them do have a self-esteem problem. I ain't one of them though. I'm confident, but I'm real rational. But kind of going back to that Alabama State game, I think going into the FAMU game, they got 1 L, maybe 2, because I do think North Carolina Central gets them, partially because I don't think they line up really well against Central. And I might be overhyping them a little bit. I don't know how that quarterback they got looks because a lot of HBCUs got the same problem. Who's the quarterback? But I think something about that defense, it's going to be a very physical game. in a very hot place, and that's a 3 o'clock game. I don't think either one of them were prepared for that kind of heat. But whoever's sitting in the sun is gonna catch hell. I'll say that right now. So and it looks like it might be Alabama State because it says at North Carolina Central. So take that for what it will. But if you're a FAMU, you remember what it was like when we sat in the sun. You remember what happened to the band. You remember what it was like as a fan. I'm just saying it's gonna be South Florida, and unless it rains, because remember that first OBC when it rained, oh, it was nice. Like it was actually pleasant weather-wise. 7-6 finish. You do lose, but the weather wasn't. The heat wasn't as bad. Shouldn't say weather. That second OBC, where you caught that solid beat down. I mean, the Heat, we lost 3 times because the Heat beat your fans, the Heat beat the band, and the Heat beat the players. And then Jackson State gave a fresh mollywhopping. Like, I'm just saying, if I am looking at the Alabama State schedule, I think they start 0-1. Now, I do think they bounce back against Miles. Sanford, I got nothing on Sanford. And part of it is I just don't know where to go with that. I believe they just replaced their football coach. So I'm going to give that one to Alabama State. I think that's a game that they can win. I don't know. I got to check. I got to double check with the Chris Hatcher thing. But if he's still there, Chris Hatcher used to be at Valdosta State. If he's still there, yeah, I'm going Sanford. But if he left, y'all know, I'll check. Let me see. I thought I saw something. Did I? Let me see. Nope, he's still there. Yep, give me Alabama State. And that's not because they're white. It's because I remember Chris Hatcher from Valdosta State, and he can coach. Like, and I just think they're gonna beat Alabama State. Just being honest. Cookman, I think that game is closer than a lot of y'all think. Like, it would not surprise me if Cookman pulled the upset. I'm just gonna say it like that. I'm not selling the Cookmans at the bottom of the barrel thing this year. I'm really not. Like, that's a toss-up game. I'm gonna give it to Anderson Daytona. Are they flying? Like, that's a tough ask. Because if you catch the bus from Montgomery to Daytona, sheesh. I'm gonna give that a reluctant Alabama State. But if they lose that game, yeah, it's over. Don't be surprised. I'm telling y'all, Cookman ain't as bad as y'all think they are. So 2 L's, 2-2 going into the FAMU game, and they should be pretty healthy. And so FAMU games, their homecoming, October 5th. The Rattlers, I told y'all, kind of go back. I had us beating Norfolk. I got us beating South Carolina State. I got UM winning. I'm giving it to Troy, but it's really because they just got more scholarships than we do. Honestly, it's not because of talent. Alabama A&M, I think we take that. And so this is where we get to Alabama State game. So 1 versus 2 preseason in the SWAC. Last time we went up there, it's a good game. Like, I mean, we could lie about it. We could be honest. Like, if it wasn't for your all-SWAC player, preseason all-SWAC player of the year, Kendall Bowler, returning that kick, do you win it? Like, last year's game, 23-10, it's kind of chippy. Okay, it was more than kind of chippy. It was extremely chippy. So a lot of trash talk between the two teams there. I'm just saying. Year before, 21-14. So we're seeing that even under Willie's apex, this is not a high-scoring game. Especially when by this time, I think you know who the quarterback is. I think so. I don't think it's going to be the person that starts the season. Whoever that is. But I think you know who the quarterback is. And one of the cool things about this game is, depending on who your quarterback is, you both got similar problems. because Andrew body's about it says 6'1". Okay. So I'll go with that. Um, I wonder if he measures at 6'1", close to 6 feet, whatever. But he can sling it. And the problem he had at Texas Southern was they couldn't block with a damn. I mean, he had a good receiver, really good receiver. Quay Davis was solid. But at the same point, didn't matter when you couldn't block for the guy. He gets to an offensive line that's better, but you got some of the same problems you got at FAM. Like, so one of the problems you have, he's also going into a completely new offensive system. Granted, he's a proven quarterback, but he lost his best receiver. So, yeah, he got a running back. He's solid. But the question is, going into the season, how's that offensive line going to look? How do they hold up? But especially, how do they hold up against this defensive line? Because it's easy for us to say, no, you didn't replace Anthony Dunn. You didn't. But when I started looking down the rest of that defensive line, it's solid. And then I'm asking Andrew Body to go at the strength of this defense. It's secondary. Like, that's the question. Because, yeah, you do hear and you see we ran a lot of zone concepts, and we've been told you're going to run the same base of zone or base defense, excuse me. That doesn't mean it's going to stay in zone, though. And even with that, you got long, no diddy DBs. Like, the defensive backs are tall. So all of a sudden, we start looking, what kind of receiver depth and height does Alabama State have? Because you got a running back. Your offensive line should be pretty solid. Receiver-wise, I'm seeing some 6 foots, some 5'8", 5'10", 6 foots. So height-wise, I'm seeing a problem. When I'm just looking man for man. When I look at FAMU and I look at Alabama State, there's a size problem. And the problem is FAMU's secondary, a lot of times they're taller than the guys they're covering in this game. So I'm just saying, look, people at BC bottom 3, you're not wrong. I think they're going to surprise some people. Like, and look, I cannot believe a team ASU would schedule a team they haven't beaten in the last 4 attempts. Yeah, but they weren't getting throttled. Like, let's be honest, even last year's game was close. I mean, some of that was because of the stupid penalties. But same point, and either way, my thing about scheduling FAMU for homecoming, for that game, FAMU fans are going to travel either way. Like, we don't travel everywhere. I'm not going to sell you that bill of goods. If it's not in driving distance, we ain't going. Anything past like 6 hours, you're not going to get a good showing. 2-3 hours, yeah. We'll be there. And Montgomery's right at that line, about 3 hours. Not a bad ride, nice facilities, like decent rivalry. Like, we get around each other. We're pretty much alike, and we like each other. Like, it's fun. Like, so it'll be interesting. But this is, to me, because obviously the tail of the tape is going to be the lines of scrimmage. And I love that, right there. Offensive line is definitely better. It is. But I think on top of the offensive line being better, FAMU's defensive line is solid. But on the flip side, what's Alabama State's defensive line like? Because FAMU's offensive line is pretty much the same. I mean, you really lost 2 guys that were supposed to come back. One due to injury, which, hey, that's outside of that kid's, he gave what he could, and he got a championship. So now he's coaching. TJ Demas, you already know, that's my guy. I was high on him coming in, still high on him. Then you lost Cardell, which, again, big time guy. But you looking at FAMU offensive line, And those are the monsters. Like, I'm just saying, we got some maulers. Like, I just you look at some of the dudes' hands, and those dudes got some big hands and they're strong. Like, it's strong. They like James Winston. You strong? I'm strong. We strong together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They them kind of dudes. Just strong. Like, and that's where I think as much as we talk about Andrew Body, we gotta, kind of look on the other side. Who's gonna be the quarterback? Is it Junior Richardson? Can't tell you. Day one, I think it's Junior. I don't know if he finishes the season. I think it'd be nice. I'm telling you, that's I'm like Wale and J. Cole. That's my boy. Now, is my boy gonna be the guy that gets the job? I don't know. But again, that's my boy. I want him to win it because I'm biased. Like, I'm not even gonna sit up here and, oh, this is an unbiased opinion for Junior Muratovic. No, 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 no. I'm biased. I you know, I like Junior, cool kid. So it's not even so much of a this, that, and the third. I like him. No diddy. Like, so of course, hey man, I want my guy to get it. It's not whereas I'm approaching this as that, like, well, uh Junior does this and Richardson does that. No, no, no. I'm telling you, there's a bias. So wherever coach goes, I'm cool with. Same thing with running back. I definitely have a bias. Receiver, I have a bias. Like, so sometimes you just got to own up to where your stuff is. But even in that, I think that's going to be the kind of the easy, low hanging fruit to pick on with FAMU, to say, well, who's the quarterback going to be? Because, Junior spent the most time in the offense, but when last time we saw him play, he didn't look spectacular. Daniel Richardson, he's got all this game experience. But you look at his stats last season, threw a bunch of picks. So who's the starter? Who knows the offense? But who doesn't just know the offense? Who can put us in the right plays? Who can get through the progressions? Who can get through progressions? Who can read the defense? Who can do all those things to not just show that the receiver should run a 9 route, but also say, oh, crap, he runs a 9 route, but there's a safety over the top. Maybe I should throw it underneath. That's some of the problems you're having. So I think that's where the low-hanging fruit is going to be, where it's the real thing is going to be, it's going to be the battle of the trenches. Because honestly, where some people view Andrew Body more as like David Ruffin, and hey, I'm the lead singer. I don't know if he's the David Ruffin, whereas he's more of like the Eddie Kendrick. Like, he can be the lead singer, but in actuality, he provides a very unique skill set that helps your team win. I think that's what Alabama State is really doing this year. They've given themselves a person with a skill set that's going to allow them to get over the top and get over the hump, in their opinion. Whereas their bread and butter is still going to be their bread and butter of, hey, we still want to play really physical football. We want to keep this defense off the field, but let them make plays. And we want to see if we can kind of enforce our will. So you got two teams that, in essence, are probably going to be trying to do the same thing from our perspective, because when we talk as a group, all us say the same thing about FAMU football: run the damn ball, right? That's what all y'all saying, right? Just keep running the ball, right? Like, that's kind of the idea, because one team is, from all intents and purposes, trying to hide the quarterback. The other team is trying to hide the fact, or not even hide the fact, but have a quarterback who can overcome the lack of those high-end skill positions. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting. And look, I see you over here. Wait, where is it? A 4-0 brag, 4-0 FAMU going to Alabama A&M. That would be wild. That would be crazy. And I would love it because nothing would make me happier. My friend's girlfriend is a grad. You don't know how much pleasure it would give me to have 365 days of being able to talk trash because FAMU won. I don't do it much because FSU won. They get out of line. I remind them the other team won. But what? You don't want that. I'm telling y'all right now, as a Tallahassee native, you don't want a year where FAMU and FSU beat Miami. I'm not going to act right. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm not going to act right. It's not going to be pretty. I'm going to act horrible. I'm going to be on my worst behavior for 365 days. A whole year of me acting a plumb fool. I'm just telling y'all right now, for the sanctity of everything and every Miami fan, you don't want FAMU to win that game. You don't. Look. What's up, Edward? Look, no good trouble yet. So, but even looking at that, like I said, I think the two defenses are going to be where the game is won, which defense does better, but then which offensive line can contain the other defensive line, because you're going to have moments. And the thing that, if we're being honest, especially, and y'all know I can take my orange and green glasses off. That's why Snakey wears them. If I take them off, if I'm Alabama State, I don't want to throw the ball a lot. Again, that's the strength of FAMU's defense. Their secondary is taller than a lot of our receivers. So you got to find tight ends. You got to find those underneath guys. Yeah, you got a tackling machine that transferred in. So did FAMU. Like, one of the things that I kind of looked at, when they were like, hey, this team should be first place. Okay, brought in something. But did they bring what FAMU brought in? Like, I'm going to leave that out there. So, but when I look at the FAMU versus Alabama State game, it's going to be a close one. Another close one. I got FAMU beating them on their homecoming. It's going to be tight. I think the tail of the tape, though, again, it's going to be the battle in the trenches, the two lines, and can Alabama State's secondary overcome? Receivers, compete with FAMU secondary, because that defensive line is they're gonna cause problems. But I think everybody's gonna get enough time. But the problem is he's gonna be able to fit the ball into those windows, because you can roll the pocket and he's mobile, but at the same point, how's he gonna do with that secondary? I got FAMU winning this one. Go 27 to going 27-20. I just, don't ask me why. I just got one of those funny feelings. It's another close one in the Gump, but the Rattlers come out with the victory yet again. Look, I saw with my own eyes in the spring. I think he can do the job and run play action. Okay. All right. I'm just saying. I like that one, though. Let's see. Was that final score? Okay. Like 1972. I'm telling you. 1979. Sorry. Yeah, man. And look, I got Larry 35-10. Okay. And I'm gonna go find out about that mango salad. Look, I ain't had a good mango in a minute, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to go to the little fruit stand, restaurant, grocery store, whatever place, get one. Now, on the other side of this, we got the basketball coach stuff. Yeah, I waited till the end of the show for that. Yeah, because I gotta let Edward get in, because Edward know we're gonna start some good trouble with that. Man, when I talk about maximum pettiness, this is some of the pettiest bull job. Like, and I respect these dudes as people, but welcome to Pettyville. Giving this man a 1-year basketball contract is straight up bull. Like, that is the ultimate. Wants a slap in the face to the coach. But then on the other side, it defeats the purpose of hiring a coach from a lower level. Like, at a certain point, you're hiring people from lower levels so you can get them for the cheap. Like, you hired a guy who he doesn't have Division One experience. You know, that's cool. No one cares because the Division One coaches you hired were ass. Like, I'm sorry, it's Friday, and there's nothing in my cup, but I'm gonna keep it like a TS is. The last coach that came to FAMU that was winning is about to be a FAMU Hall of Famer, and he came from Tallahassee Community College. So, what's the problem? Because this is my thinking. Some of this is get back at OBG. I'm just saying. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it up. And I'm gonna stay right there. Some of this to get back at her. But at the same point, Coach Crary, you a G for this. Cause look, I'd have hit that "Can I Call You Rose" parody. Man, F all you O's. F your mammy and your granny too. Look, I'm just saying, I'm sick of this. It's like, I would have hit that. And I'd have been like, I came here for this. Like, look what I did in recruiting. Who the heck has done what I've done in recruiting in 3 months in the past 6 years? Like, I'm sorry. Look, don't get me wrong. You know, I get why folks were upset with Coach in kind of the movie Made with not bringing some back some of the players. But at the same point, in 3 weeks, you hadn't seen this level of talent in a while. Like, this team might actually be decent. Like, we were the floor of the conference and we expected it. Like, it was like, hey, what's FAMU basketball look like? Oh, oh, they're gonna suck, but you know, that's my school. You know, I gotta roll with them. I remember I told one dude, he goes, what's your favorite basketball team? I go, oh, FAMU. He's like, stop playing. Who's your real team? And I was like, yeah, you know, and he's like, that's school you went to. I respect that. I respect you for giving me that answer. Who's your real team? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you Kentucky right now. And he's like, that's the answer I can take. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. You signed this dude. The lady did. She jumped through your dumb hoops. She did what you wanted her to. She picked the person. Is it a white man from Lincoln that I wanted? No. Is it a dude that is capable? Yeah. He's got athletic director experience. He's also been a head basketball coach, successful basketball coach. Like, at some of this, he is a good medium. One of the things she asked for, which some of us were critical over, and I said us, because it might not have been you, was asking for coaches that knew how to raise money. The athletic director at St. Thomas University, granted, it's a private school. There's a little bit of fundraising know-how there. Just saying. Then within the contract, if he gets over X amount of dollars in, he gets a bonus. Okay. So you doubled down on some of what you asked for as an athletic director. At a certain point, you gotta let this lady cook. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care if you don't like her. I really don't. Look, I am Chris Brown, and this is T Grizzly, and I'm just singing the hook. IDGAF. That's me. I'm Chris Brown singing it loud, riffing, and all kind of stuff. And I ain't gonna sing it for you. You don't know the song? Look it up on your Apple Tunes. That's my jam. Chris Brown be riding out. But you gotta let the lady cook, because honestly, she ain't gonna be here much longer. Like, she got about a year. And look, I'm just gonna tell y'all now, we about to do the case for the OBG. And honestly, she's setting this up. Like, she's setting this up to go to her to make her next move her best move. Like, we're gonna lay that out. And we're gonna use facts. It's not opinion. It's not gonna be one of those, y'all should be nice to her. You shouldn't be bothering her. You should let her just do her job. And if you let her do her job, everything will be okay. No, no, no. I'm not gonna say you that bull. But what I am gonna do is show you how she might be playing the game a little bit better than we think. She's just not politicking, but she might be playing the game a little bit better than we think. We're gonna do that next week though. But this right here, giving this man anything less than a 3-year contract is bull, because all them previous coaches that was straight butt cheeks, they got 3-year deals. Like, you gave 3-year contracts to people who didn't have a modicum of coaching success that this guy's had. Some of them hadn't even been coaches in years and came to FAMU and got the the FAMU friendly discount. Oh, you my friend, you get this job. Cool. Come coach and suck. Like, what you're really doing as a leader is brewing apathy. You are becoming the catalyst of successfully sorriness. Like, you want some sorry behind basketball? Keep doing this. Because who wants to take this job after Curry leaves? Because, again, the other dumb side of this brother actually has a good year. I'm not saying he will, but he actually has a decent year. You can't offer him the same money. You can't. I'm sorry. This is just me. I know I'm different. But if I start a job and we at the bottom of the barrel, I mean, we're at the bottom of the chitlin bucket. It's just straight doo-doo trash. I clean it out, wash it up, get it clean, make it so clean you can look at it and ain't no smell, and slay it over some rice. Dude, you're not going to sit up there and give me that same crappy contract. It can't be that. Because all of a sudden, now you've given me a bullet to be able to say, oh no, you don't value what I've just done. You need to pay me more. I'm sorry. You're not going to give me that same chitlin juice. I took that because I needed opportunity. Some of y'all did that. Such were some of you, is what the good book says. Some of y'all took a sorry job, took an entry-level position, and said, you know what, I'm gonna learn this job. And within a few months, at first, you started on lettuce. Then all of a sudden, you worked your way on up the fries. Then you doing the burgers. Next thing you know, you management. Like, you the manager at McDowell's, because you started at the bottom and now you're here. But you're gonna sit there like, he's making middle towards bottom level salary on a single year deal. You wouldn't do that on Madden. I'm sorry. Hello. I might be the only one. But if you're going to give us single year or lesser contract, you normally pay more. Whereas I can pay you middle of the road entry level contract when you're just coming in. Like, okay, it's a 3-year deal. I'm giving you a shot. You've had success at a lower level. Now you've come up. Hey, you on a 3-year deal. I'm paying you in the middle. Cool. All right. That's fair. Like, because you've got no experience at this level. Like, what you are doing is paying your dues. You are getting hazed by the system. Sorry. Florida's an anti-hazing state, yada, yada, yada. When you walk on that job, you're getting hazed. Because you starting at the grunt, bottom level, based on your experience, your degree, your expertise. Your brother's starting at the middle, if that. But you giving them a 1-year deal, and look, half the problem. You cheap, and they're not going to increase the play. He's going to be gone if he depended on. Look, that's what I would do. And again, that's my issue with the whole we're going to give him a 1-year deal thing. You're just trying to get back at the athletic director. But in the process, you make the university look bad. Like, get back at OBG some other way, but don't make us look stupid. Like, because as an alumni, I'm gonna say it now. I don't like it. I don't like when the news is out there and you over there trying to out petty people. Like, because as I'm gonna point out, this is being set up to where she does a Courtney Gaucher. I'm just saying. Like, I mean, she ain't gonna leave on the same situations, but she's gonna leave. And I'm gonna give y'all some of the talking points. She's gonna leave. She's gonna be able to claim and state success on the field, which we've had multiple championships, a national championship. She's going to be able to claim academic success and increase graduation rates, which we've had, improved APR, which we've had. She's also going to be able to point out that she fixed an academic scandal under her watch that made national news, which she has. Now, whether you like her, whether you hate her, or love her, or whatever, she could be able to claim them positive things and walk into somebody's school and take a lesser position, making more money with less stress, and leave you. I'm just saying. Like, some of y'all over here, some of these folks are playing checkers because you're trying to get back at the lady. Or it seems like you're trying to get back at the lady. Whereas what you should do is what's in the best interest of FAMU, because that's not in the best interest. Like, spare me telling me you're a Humphreys era Rattler when you're not doing Humphreys era stuff. Like, I almost said somebody else. Like, but I ain't gonna be petty like that today. Like, you might be a Humphreys era Rattler, but you ain't doing Humphreys era stuff. You're doing, never mind. It's not right. Like, so yeah, tell me about your era, but show it. Like, don't just tell me, because I was on campus when Humphreys was up there. I get it. I know the difference. And that kind of petty bull jump, that was behind closed doors type stuff. That's not stuff you did in public. You didn't air out that kind of laundry and make FAMU look stupid like this. And yeah, I'm gonna say it. Like, I ain't got to be a friend for that one. I really don't. And what I really want to make sure is said is that for the alumni, boosters, continue talking your stuff. Tell your people in power you're not satisfied, and let them know, hey, you might not like this lady, but she's the athletic director. She's the person in power. She's the person in power until things change. And honestly, it ain't gonna last for long. So let's make this the best it could be. Make it so that we can make these contracts work, because one thing she's done well, hire basketball coaches. Like, Bridget Gordon is kicking butt, taking names, flip the program into a winnable program with the same players that the previous coach had. Now she's got her own. Come on. She got her own coaches. And the conference lost its best coach. You can't tell me FAMU women's basketball won't be in the top 4. Just start looking at that. That's her hire. And she was someone that we all said, yo, she ain't got no experience, but she got some credentials, playing wise. She never been a head coach, but she county FAMU. She's cutting her teeth. She's going through the professional hazing of life. And now, honestly, in 2 years, she probably won't be there. Real talk. Bridget Gordon ain't gonna stay there for life. She's using FAMU for what it's supposed to be. It's a launch pad. It's the same thing you did. Very few of y'all still work for FAMU. I wear this all day long. I do not work for FAMU anymore. I went to FAMU. I worked for FAMU. And Once I was able to, hey, get some chops, put in for the next job, moved on up. That's what you're supposed to do. But to give this dude a year to fix what's been broken for a decade, two, we being real, that program been broke for 2 decades. You had a good period under McCullum. He had some good times. But you giving this dude a year to fix what's been broke for 20 years? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't. Like, that doesn't make good nonsense. Like, I'm giving you 1 year to fix 20 years of broke. Come on, man. Credit Karma don't promise you that. You've been messing up your credit for 20 years. You gonna fix it in a year. Yeah, you can. You're not gonna pay no other bills, but you're gonna pay them other folks back. Like, at a certain point, and hopefully under Dr. Beard, the conversation comes back to them as like, yo, let's make this right. While we can still get them on the cheap, let's give them a 2-year extension for the same money. I ain't even saying give the guy a raise. Give him the same sorry behind contract, but give him the comfort and the security of time. Because all of a sudden that $150 contract, $50,000 contract turns into a $450,000 contract in a state where you don't pay income taxes. And all of a sudden, yeah, I got you for the cheap, but at the same point, I got you for the cheap in a place where the cost of living is relatively fair, in a place where you're not paying state income taxes. So all of a sudden, when you start doing your cost of living matrices and stuff like that, okay, this is a decent wage now. It's not as disproportionate as it appears. Like, somebody got to do the math. We got too many educated people out here to be doing bull jump. Like, and look, and they gave him a year, 2 months after his announcement, and act like they don't know the guy. You had 2 months to ask questions about him, research him, and even talk to him. Everything's public knowledge, and he worked for a private school. Like, I ain't gonna lie. When they hired him, I looked up his coaching record. I looked up where he'd been, and that's where I was like, okay, no, I'm cool with the hire. You good? Prairie's all right with me because he had chops. And you know what? That's the problem. That's the problem right there. The problem is he's actually got a resume that's worth a damn. And too many times we hire people not because they got a resume, but because they got a degree that says FAMU. Because, as I said it before, we've yet to have a FAMU coach outside of the golf coach that came through FAM that was like a glaring success, excluding like maybe 2 or 3. FAMU's not the cradle of coaching, especially basketball wise. We never produced a basketball coach with a darn. And that's no shot at the ones we've had that played at FAM. I'm speaking to results, though. Y'all, I argue with data. The best coaches that we had in FAMU basketball were not Rattlers. Now, if we would have hired him and he would have did a week of undergrad at FAMU, oh gosh, that brother would have been the best thing since sliced bread. Oh man, we're gonna tear it up. And he a Rattler. Oh man, who cares? FAMU basketball has been butt for 20 years. Like, FAMU don't mean a damn thing on a degree when it comes to basketball. It don't. Pick people who win. Nobody else consistently picks people just because they went to your school who weren't successful. Now, it meant something when Jim Harbaugh went to Michigan. He was a Michigan man. But guess what? Jim Harbaugh has success at every level he was at. He started at the University of San Diego, had success. He goes to Stanford. He has success. Then he goes to the San Francisco 49ers. He has success. Then he goes to Michigan. So again, you didn't pick somebody because he was a Michigan man. You picked a successful Michigan man for the job. And too often, if the person had, I went to FAMU on the degree, they're the best person for the job, not you're successful in what you've done. And so in this case, you over here gatekeeping for something that don't nobody want to go to. Like, who's standing in line? Who's knocking down doors to watch a losing basketball program? What are you protecting? You're not protecting the honor of the university. You're not standing on the shield. You're doing nothing. What you're doing is making us look bad. And in actuality, you're hurting the program. Let this dude get his 3 years, get him for cheap, let him build a staff. And while he's building his staff, let him develop young coaches. You're starting to see one of the things that I loved with Willie Simmons. Willie Simmons, another example. He didn't stay at FAMU. He went to FAMU for a little bit. He started developing coaches and started looking at your roster now and your coaching staff. Some of those young coaches are still there. So a couple of them gone to the NFL. But let your coaches develop and build their programs. You got a track coach that was successful before he came to FAMU. Then he comes to FAMU, and in a year, man, he flipped that program. Look good, don't it? Oh, guess what? Next year, I don't know if you call St. Clair, coach confirmed FAMU relays are coming back. So you brought somebody who had success, who was doing well at other places, then come to FAMU, where they got a little more resources that had success here. But you too petty to get out the way. You and your feelings? She hurt your feelings like that? I'm just saying. She ain't hurt my feelings like that. Like I said, did she piss me off with Willie Simmons? Absolutely. No, I'm never going to hide that. But is it something I hold against the lady? No. Because in person, she's been nothing but nice to me. And in this case, did she try to get him on the cheap a little bit? Yeah. She hired somebody that fit what she wanted, fitted what you needed. Now, should have been working on that with a softball program. If you really wanted to raise a stink about multi-year contracts, basketball wasn't the place to do it. Basketball wasn't the place to get pissed off at. Softball was. Softball was a place to say, okay, hey, she got offered somewhere else? What she got offered? Oh no, let's see if we can fix that. We just won a championship. See, you playing checkers and not chess. So you chose to prove a point instead of standing on business. Because if you stood on business, you would have kept your softball coach. And then you would have just gave this man his contract. And you would have said, hey, we're going to keep it pushing. So that when she leaves, it's set up for the next person. You can do what you got to do with that. So, but look, y'all, again, Fangs Up Friday. Yeah, I know I get a little loose, especially when it comes to them petty folks, man. So, be trying to get that right, man. Little baby says, I know I wasn't when I was on campus. I've only ever gone to one basketball game. I don't believe I stayed the whole game. I ain't gonna lie. When I was on campus, FAMU basketball was actually pretty good to see. When I was in high school, obviously, I knew Jay Kelly. So we were there for those Terrence Woods days, and FAMU went to the tournament. K3 was lit. And even when FAMU wasn't great, we showed up. We supported the team. You didn't get great numbers, but you got solid something. And the fact that as a fan, and I'll say it like this, I'm a fan, but I think you're more educated fans if they're starting to look at what Curry is bringing in and what he's setting himself up to do, and not just what he's setting himself up to do. And I had to edit myself. You're messing up some relationships. Like, okay, he brought Shaq's kid to the team. That means that they have some type of pre-existing relationship, right? I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there. And if they don't, By the end of the season, they will. And this kid is a FAMU legacy. His aunt was a Rattler. Just saying, certain point, you're burning bridges that you ain't even thought about. And you're making it difficult for a young coach who might have a vision to take you to that next level, but you'll never find out because you're too busy trying to get back at Tiffany Dawn Sykes. At least that's what it feels like. I could be wrong. Look, I wish Tallahassee was closer because I'd love to attend a game in that arena. That looks like a great place for pictures and on video. Lawson Center is amazing. Just got to fix some lights because it's hard to get some good pictures. But for what you're paying, Lawson Center is a very good basketball venue. And when the 100 is in there, students are in there, it's really good. And look, why tear down FAMU High Gym when you don't have basketball practice facilities? Look, man, I was saying that before they did it. I was like, just use this as the basketball practice facility. Common sense ain't common. But then also, leadership isn't focused on athletics like that, man. So they're not, man. So, but look, if you are going to the booster kickoff, if you haven't already, they need you. We're gonna put the advertisement up there on the show or on the social media pages just to remind y'all, hey, go support the boosters, the team on the team. If you haven't joined, join. We will be booster members by the end of August. So as many of y'all that can join, look, let us know, drop it in chat and say, hey, I joined. And so that way our goal, my personal goal as a renewed booster member is for us to get up to at least 500 members. So 500 members, we could do some decent things, not just life members, 500 members. But all right, y'all, for Herbs and the Black Techies, look, y'all, another episode of Fangs Up. Look, appreciate Reddit FCS. If y'all didn't see, they recognize the Fangs Up podcast. It's one of the family podcasts to watch. So like, subscribe, tell a friend, share it out, man. Let them know we be here when we speak facts. It's always going to be Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it?